Welcome to Fangirls Over 40. I am here with Kyla Stone. She is a local author here in my home state of Michigan. She seems to be the queen of the apocalypse. Would that be a pretty accurate statement?
I have been called the queen of the apocalypse on a regular basis. So yes, I will accept that term.
Wear the crown.
Yes.
Okay, that is fantastic.
With pride.
Excellent. We have been apocalyptic out in Ireland for loads of different types of apocalyptic Comic-Cons, MAGAs, series, TV shows. And seeing how lengthy some of these series are, how do you put yourself in it for the long haul, so to speak? When you start a series, do you think, one will be fine, or no, this is going to go on for a while?
Well, I did plan, especially Edge of Collapse, to be a 5-book series, but when I got to the end of the 5 books, I realized I had more story to tell. I should say the characters had more story to tell. They
It's
were
really
not
not
done.
Up to you, is
yes,
it?
They were not done yet, and so it ended up being a 7-book series before their arcs could be completed to my satisfaction and their satisfaction.
Okay. Do you think when you start with the characters, is this something that sits in the back of your mind, or are you just kind of one of those really lucky people, here's my character?
It usually takes time to develop a character. I will say, going back to Edge of Collapse, for Hannah Sheridan, the seed of an idea for this series was, okay, there's an apocalyptic event, it's terrible for everyone, right? It's world ending, it's devastating. Is there one person that the apocalypse could be a good thing for? And I just had this vision of this woman like trapped in a basement prison and the EMP happening and the door opening. And that was the start. And I was like, okay, we are going to follow her. Like, where is she going to go? Why is she here? What happened? What happens next? And that's how the story just expanded from there. But other characters take a little more development, like who is this person? And sometimes I'll just throw them in. Like Liam, you know, is he going to be a good guy or a bad guy? Like to Hannah at first, you know, he's kind of a threat because all men are threatening after what she had been through, and then just kind of developing his story as I'm writing him.
Having started now, just the book 1, I've read 3 of the chapters already waiting to see you, and I'm like, Hannah, she's not a little girl. Oh, thank God. It's very interesting to see that you're also getting a glimpse of her life very briefly, and knowing that I didn't even realize that she's actually been there a while.
Yeah.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
To start off the book with, oh, this is really bad. Like, really, really bad. And like you said, all of a sudden, the door, we can leave. A lot of these apocalyptic stories that we've seen, either you're waking up in the middle of a bloodbath and zombies, which is kind of getting kind of old, folks, to be fair. But it's really nice to see, like you said, a different kind of path. This is good for somebody. And so that's really exciting. I want to throw you back very quickly to, as you now have called it, your Queen of Fate and Fury. And the only reason I'm running back to that, because that would be a genre that a lot of our friends back in Ireland would really be into. So how old is your Queen of Fate and Fury, and what was the original title?
Okay, so I wrote that in 2017. It was originally Labyrinth of Shadows, because it's Theseus and the Minotaur, and they go down into the labyrinth. I just felt like it wasn't the best fit for the story, and it's from Princess Aradne's perspective, and I feel like I grew up loving Greek mythology, but I always felt like the women get shafted in that, right? Like they're always the bad guys, or they're cast aside. Like Aradne gets cast aside in this story, and I was like, what if that didn't happen? What if she took ownership of her own story? She goes into the labyrinth with Theseus in my version of the story, and how can she come out ahead and own her own story in this? And so I call it a feminist retelling, and had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, because I mean, when you look at like Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, we've got all these poor prepubescent boys who are just moody. Yes. Let's be fair. So this one really kind of struck me when I was reading, because when I was reading earlier all the different books, I'm like, hey, I really like the idea of this one. I'm going to give this a go. So I'm going to take one of those and I'm going to have a little go from it. But your audience for these is young adult? Yes. No?
Yes, young adult, but I have a lot of adult women that read it also.
Good.
So I'll say the character is a little younger, but
the story is still firm. So
yes.
We're going to go with that. Now we'll go to the basic run-of-the-mill questions. When you started writing, like everybody, well, like most people or authors would do when you're younger, did you ever dream
I wanted to be an author since I was about 8 years old.
Oh,
so
that's great.
I had a brief stint where I wanted to be a marine biologist and train dolphins at the age of 5 and 6.
I think we all wanted to work with dolphins.
Yes.
Maybe that's another book.
Yes.
You know?
I can always do research.
That's right. Go hang out with the dolphins.
Yes.
We have lots of them around Ireland. You can go there.
Yes.
They do around the south. They
Yeah,
come around.
that's another reason to visit.
It's not bad. Earlier we had a quick chat and I asked what was the first thing you wrote. Well, that's a bit ambiguous, really. What was your first published work?
My first published work was, I actually did some children's stories for an educational publisher.
Okay.
15 years ago. And are we talking fiction or nonfiction?
Well, let's go with fiction. What was your first?
Okay,
first
yeah.
fiction?
So that would be the children's books, and then Beneath the Skin was 2016.
And that really is quite young adults, 18, about 18-year-old girls, and trauma and
contemporary
things.
YA,
Exactly.
overcoming trauma.
In the books of your heroines and different characters, of course, you're going to put yourself into quite a lot of them, or pull from your friends, unknowingly, of course, to themselves. You know, all of us in creation do it all the time. But is there one particular character in all of your stories that you might gravitate towards to the most, that you might have thrown most of your quirks, your personality, and things into, do you think? Maybe unintentionally, but maybe you did.
You know, I think a lot of people do that. I have tried not to put my own personality and quirks or my friends in.
Yeah.
I will say Hannah Sheridan in Edge of Collapse, her resilience, and she comes from trauma, and as she fights through that to overcome and become a survivor is something that's very close to my heart. Some of the things that I've overcome in my life. Obviously, I'm not going to have to live through an apocalypse and hopefully never kidnapped by a psychopath, but still, I feel like her emotional journey towards healing was one kind of echoed in my life.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can, even when people say, well, you know, my life's not like that, but if you look into a character in a book, you'll find something that you can glean from and says, hey, and it does talk to me here, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to your 7-book series again, because SONY somehow has delved into your world. And they have a nice little, what most people know or don't know is that a studio can come and say to you, hey, I like your idea. We're going to hang on to it for a little while. And of course, they should be generous to you anyways. But how long has SONY got it? And have they even told you what they might do with it?
Yeah, so SONY optioned it for 18 months. So they did hire a head writer, and they did write a pilot script, and the pilot script has been approved.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to be on set? You should write that in your contract.
Yes, they said I could visit on set. Visit. Maybe get a walk-on role. We'll see.
That means don't meddle in the writing.
Exactly.
Is what they mean.
Exactly. They're like, if you become bothersome, you're out.
But it's fun to see people and the extras and on set, and from once in a while you'll see the writer or the the guy who came up or the lady came up with it, and they'll be sitting there all wrapped up because it is freezing in the middle of winter, and they'll look over at them if they've completed a scene, and they'll go, no. That's not it. And I can't say which one it was, but it's been a pretty recent one that they filmed there, and she was one of my friends was actually an extra on the set, and they filmed because the funniest thing just happened. The writer just looked him straight in the face and went, nope, you're doing that again, come here. And she handed it back, and they went, okay. So that's, I think, isn't it, is it every writer's dream? Maybe not. Do you want to see your stuff on the screen, or is it better here?
Yes, that is a tricky question.
It is.
Because as a reader, you can have favorite books and favorite series, and then it gets made into a movie or a television show, and you're like, this is nothing like what I imagined it. It's not nearly as good as the book type of a thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do it really, really well, and it's amazing.
Yes.
So
let's talk about the good ones, because we could go on all day about the bad ones. If you thought of a book series or a book standalone book that they hit it a 10, which one first comes to mind, do you think, for you personally?
Okay.
Opinions here, folks.
Opinions only.
Opinions only. Please, let's not ruffle everybody out of here.
I think they did a great job with Game of Thrones up until the last season.
There you go. Yes. But that, I mean, everybody knows that.
But yes,
That's not.
yes. But a little old school Jurassic Park. Because I read that when I was 12,
Yep.
loved it, and when the movie came out, it was everything that
And
I wanted and imagined it to be.
Because you guys do realize this fangirl's over 40. We are over 40. At least we are. This side of the table is.
Also this side.
Good, thank God. Right. Sometimes books, sometimes TV shows and series hit it, sometimes they don't. My friends and I were talking about Harry Potter. They missed out all of the Quidditch World Cup. I was like, where'd it go? I mean, but JK had a whole lot of say and a whole lot of stuff on that. And apparently also in the series, since they've started filming it in London, she's still got her toe in. So it'll be really interesting to see how that does, come out. In your mind, who do you want playing the characters? Come on.
It is very hard.
If you say Pedro Pascal, God bless you, Pedro, but we have had enough right now. You got Grogu
He's already done the apocalypse and rescuing a young
little green alien.
Or a girl.
Yes, exactly. He's done all that. Who would you think would be?
I will say Liam Coleman, which is my main male character who is ex-Special Forces. Chris Hemsworth has done some military
He has, and he's been
movies
good.
That he was excellent.
He was in that South African one.
Yes.
I thought he was actually very, very good.
Yes.
Is he?
I think he was.
He's
got that kind of moody, quiet,
he can
but
be a bit
fierce
moody, to be fair,
intensity, and can also be funny.
Maybe this will bring him
sometimes.
back to acting because he is on a hiatus, as we
He
all
is.
know.
He is.
So, Chris, hey, tagging Chris Hemsworth. All my buddies at Marvel, come on, pull him back. Because he's coming back for Thor for the last big woo-ba-ba. But anyway, for a whole other chat.
Yes.
So for herself, who would you have for Hannah?
I don't know for Hannah, honestly.
Maybe an unknown.
And they have talked about that too.
That would probably might be a better idea. You could probably...
But you don't have preconceived ideas of
Exactly.
or typecasting for things
They'd
like
be
that.
harder, I think, on a known lady actor than they would be on Chris, to be fair. As it is. We know, ladies. It is that way.
Yes.
Now, the dog. Please tell us about the dog.
The dog, Ghost is a Great Pyrenees mountain dog, 140 pounds of white fur.
Sheds
like
Yeah,
a maniac.
baby.
Intensely, fiercely loyal and protective. And it's natural. You don't have to teach those dogs. That protective nature is in every core of them. Very intelligent, very stubborn, beautiful.
Shout out to Misha, who's one of our ladies in the group. She has a half golden, half Pyrenees. I'm talking to you, Maisie. Yes, I am.
Yes, they're amazing dogs, and we had one named Shadowfax, big Lord of the Rings fan, and so when I was thinking of what kind of dog to put in, it was
Your baby.
It was natural. It is my favorite breed.
Is it still around?
No.
Okay.
He's gone over
The Rainbow Bridge, yes.
Unfortunately,
Aww.
and we've talked about getting another one and a puppy, and maybe someday. Just hasn't happened yet.
Life's busy, isn't
Life
it?
is busy, and puppies are a lot. of work.
They're like having a new baby in the house.
Yes,
we
they
know.
are.
I thought it'd be a great idea for my, 40th, 50th birthday to get myself a German short-haired pointer. Destroyed everything, still does, but love her to bits. We love our doggies. I won't forget our cat. My husband is the cat whisperer. We'll add that in there
Like cats too.
I'm surprised Cat's not in the book.
We
Or just in
do.
passing?
Gran, there is a teenage character named Quinn, and her grandmother has a bunch of cats.
Just
Who are named after Greek mythology characters.
Oh, I
so
love
Loki
that.
and Thor, and they're very ornery and have their own personalities.
When you can really round out your characters, I think bringing in animals into books is such a great idea because people obviously we love our animals and all that, but that I think makes even characters look so much more human because you see their attachment to these animals, which you can see it in your own. I think that really is a kind of how can I say, that's your end game on a lot of books that really I think really pull people in. yeah, we love the characters, but you really have to build that circle around them of who and what pushes them forward. So your latest one, and you said this is your flagship series. Mm-hmm. And this is the newest series of books that you have?
It is not the newest.
Oh, what is the newest series of books, please?
The series is the Lost Light series.
Oh, right.
Over
Okay.
there,
Yep.
and that's
Is that a 4-book series?
It's 4 books.
It's a 4-book series.
They're longer, thicker books.
Okay. Chunkier books.
Yes, that's set in the Upper Peninsula, and that's a solar flare, and it's kind of a murder mystery set in the apocalypse. A rural sheriff trying to save a young witness and solve a murder as everything is collapsing around them.
Wow.
In the small rural town.
I'll have to take
up
that to my
north.
workmates at the courthouse. I'm going to pull us back a little bit to Lord of the Rings, just for inspirational purposes. Was that an inspiration when you were younger, or what was a book or series that really kind of infiltrated your head?
Yes, I mean, I've always loved Lord of the Rings. I would say my love of the apocalypse came from Stephen King's The Stand.
Okay.
Cormac McCarthy's The Road. I also love dystopian, The Giver, 1984. You know, all of those types of books.
I'll switch gears on that. Walking Dead. What do you think?
First 5 seasons.
There.
Yes.
I almost gave up on season 4. The cannibalism. I nearly said, you know what, guys? I think I'm done. But then Negan and I went, I'm back. I have to say, that is a terrifying apocalypse.
It is.
As far as just really taking it to the nth degree, lads. From even just the first 3 chapters, this can happen.
Yes.
This is something that can be in your head, in your mind, and I think when you're in a much more believable situation in your book and then in your head, you're able to capture someone a lot more rather than being so outlandish that we're just watching it just for the sake of, what are you going to surprise me with next that's just totally unbelievable and we can't deal with? Outlander. Are we an Outlander fan? Are you watching?
I watched the first season. I have not read the books.
Now, I literally have not read the books. I'm going to now because the last season comes out in March. But this is the thing that I wanted to ask you. Okay, with the characters, when you take them in for the long haul and you're going forever with these guys, they are with you night and day.
Yes.
There's some times when you're just like, Hannah, not today, baby.
Well, there are 4 point of view characters, so I can switch to a different character if I'm getting tired of one. But I know, like, some authors will write, like, a 15, 20-book series or whatever, and for me, when it was done, it was done.
Yeah.
And so people will be like, well, come
More?
back, like, write more, and I'll be like, you don't actually want me to write more because
It's just-
their stories are finished.
Exactly.
It's complete, and that's why you were so invested for them to reach that point of growth or that character arc, and once they've completed that, then, you know.
Exactly. And I think that's where fans, I'm talking to you, we need to take a chill.
Yes.
Just a bit, because stuff ends, people.
And you want it to end at the best.
Yeah.
Don't go 2 or 3 seasons further than you should have.
When you hate it all.
Yes, just for money and just you don't have good story arcs, whatever. Like, end on top.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Supernatural. I'm going to pipe it back just to Lord of the Rings. As books, they are hefty things, those ones.
Yes, they are.
Now, fair play to Peter Jackson. I mean, he brought them to the screen, and it's like, don't anybody ever touch them ever again. Leave them alone, please. I am excited for Gollum, though. I can't wait to see what he does with that. But the books of the Lord of the Rings, within any of your books, is there any little tweak or inspiration from them?
I don't, because Lord of the Rings is fantasy, and these are very realistic,
orientated
based stories.
But there's still maybe problems or traumas or...
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of battle scenes.
There you go.
Which I was like, okay, when we have Gondor, you know, on their last stand and all that kind of, yes.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you just got to have Aragorn. I mean,
yes,
you know,
yes.
Vigo could be in the show.
He definitely could.
Write him a new character, straight up, just for
Vigo.
Vigo.
Right to Hollywood right now. Him in there.
I'll tell you what.
With the long hair. I need.
Oh no, we need that in the like that. Yes. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. I have to say, talking with a couple of the other women authors as well. Have you found your journey through the kind of, I suppose, world of books as an author yourself? How have you found that journey?
I think reading
professionally,
it inspires you. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Other stories. I think we take little bits of everything from the stories that we read, as well as from real life, and kind of make it into an algorithm that is new and fresh, but you're still, everything we read, we put a little bit of that back into our stories, just in characters that we love, or struggles that they overcome, or themes that we resonate with, that were impactful to us at certain ages or times in our lives.
We change as we get older, ladies. This is true. But just to ask, for those aspiring writers out there, even if they never professionally publish, what's something you kind of want to leave them with about doing their own writing?
I would say, first of all, like, don't judge yourself. I used to think, like, well, my first drafts were awful, so that must mean I'm an awful writer. When I read Anne Lamont's, like, Bird by Bird was extremely helpful, and she says all first drafts are shit, and she is an amazing writer. I'm like, if she says this, if she feels this about her writing, which is magical, then, like, okay, so you go in having that, like, you just write that first draft, and you don't judge yourself, and you don't stop, and you don't say I'm not good enough, because you can't improve on a blank page.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And writing is about revision. It's not, the first draft is never perfect for anyone. So you revise and you edit and you revise again, and you improve and improve and improve until you get to that point where it is ready to be seen by other eyes.
Absolutely.
And I would also say, like, never give up, because I think writers face a lot of criticism. We get rejections from editors and publishers, and anybody who reads it has an opinion, and a lot of people are going, it's fine, and you're going to get that criticism. There is no book that has all 5-star reviews on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? And so you just have to be like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah. You're going to touch somebody.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes.
And that's worth it. So we just wanted to say thanks so much for being with us. And everyone, always remember, may the force be with you on your way to Mordor with your letter from Hogwarts, and live long and prosper.